Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. Do you like horror games? Some of us do, not all of us do. Do you like your horror games to be edited, pre-edited for you? If so, you might like to check out Martha is Dead on PlayStation. So, Sony is basically censoring yet another game, a game called Martha is Dead, which is being developed by an Italian indie studio, LKA. I never heard of this game until this controversy came out, so maybe this is good for them. Since we've all were kind of chit-chatting before, this is probably good for them because now they are going to get some publicity and people are going to wonder what the scenes are that's getting cut out of, because it's not, there's no details on what's being cut. The studio is pretty disappointed, as you can understand, having their artistic vision being censored. Nobody wants censorship, right? But lots of countries censor things. It's kind of odd to have a console itself censor something, because that's just really weird. Like, let the countries where the consoles reside decide what can be published in their areas, not the manufacturer, because yours hardware. You should be keeping yourself separate and letting them worry about what's being deployed on those machines. But PlayStation controls a lot of things, right? Like, there's certain scenes in games that you can't record because the PlayStation will flag you. You can get your account banned for stuff like that, which is just stupid. But it's on them. From what I understood, this game was to be an exclusive PlayStation game. And I don't know what happened, because I originally read that it was supposed to be PlayStation 4 and 5 exclusive, but now it's not. It's going to be on basically everything, probably except for Switch, obviously, right? It's going to be on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So everybody who's going to get the basically what they're going to call the definitive or uncut edition on Xbox and PC. So if you're getting the PlayStation, it's going to be the edited version. So it's kind of weird, right? Most horror fans don't want anything they're going to see to be edited. I think Nick and Shane are playing a horror game now that's even got nudity in it. So that's a decision that the consumer should make, not the console provider, in my opinion. What do you guys think about this, Shane? What do you think about Sony deciding they need to censor yet another game? They need to save us. Sony's going to play Captain Save-A-Ho with us. So what do you think about that?
Thank you, Sony. I didn't know if I could handle it, but you decided it for me. I don't know how to thank you. I mean, I could have saw something that made me like the game better, like the game worse, but no, you took that option from me. So thank you. I don't have to worry about it now. It's the kind of crap that just chaps my butt. It really is. Sony has every right to say, look, if you want to put it on my platform, you got to take this scene out or this situation. It is their system. I understand that. Nintendo used to do this with blood and gore back in the day. You know, Mortal Kombat, the blood was green, if any. Excite Bike, there wasn't a seat originally. So the games, the game, like a game like this is, it should be left alone. Then Sony has the right. I personally think Sony has the right to say, hey, we don't feel like this should be on our platform. Fine, I'll go to somebody else. I think part of it has to do with them being ass hurt from them going multi-platform. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I don't want to put words in Sony's mouth, but I will tell them that what they're doing, I think, is wrong. A game is a story, a movie. Now, granted, there are certain things that should not be into a movie or a game. We were talking about the shooter game on PC that we were playing, where you're the elite SWAT. What, I can't think of the name of it.
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, yes. And there was a thing about them doing a school scene. We discussed things that I don't want to see. I don't want to see children's bodies in a scene. Is it reality of what the world is right now? Yes. Sadly, heartbreakingly, yes, that would be reality. But there's certain things I don't want to see in a movie or game. There's certain things that probably shouldn't. That is one of them. children's bodies lying all over the floor in context. So, but I think Sony taking the option away from the gamers to decide if this is something they want to play is wrong. They have the right because it is their console. But I think them doing it is wrong. I think if they're that concerned about it, they should put a label on there. A certain scene in the game is XYZ. Because you can probably find the scene online. I don't want to say what the scene is because I'm going to be getting it on Xbox, so I can see that scene or play that scene, or if it might be multiple scenes. So Sony can kiss my butt. They're not taking away my option to make my decision. So if they want to, label the game, hey, it's got some crap in there that might be way too much for you. Sure, thanks. Thanks for the heads up. That allows me as a parent and a gamer to make that decision. But for them to flat out take a part of a story away from me, I disagree. So, what about you, Nick? You love horror games. Horror games.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with the fact that they shouldn't censor it, right? Sony's got this weird thing about censoring certain games compared to others. Because, we talked about a game before called 99 Women or 7 Women or 9 Women or something like that?
Something about a bunny.
And then, so on on the Sony side, it's 99 bunnies or 9 bunnies or something like that. They basically so in this game, the women it's like a little puzzle platform game where you collect these women, the original one is, and the women are naked. But you really, the graphics are not like super detailed. It's almost like someone drew it on a piece of paper and that's the game, right? And so it's
on
can't
Switch,
tell.
so it can't be that great, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's on Switch. You can't really tell much. There's not a lot of detail in the women that are in there. Plus, they have this like little bright glow in front of them, so you really can't tell they're naked. But you can tell that they are, but you can't really see much of anything.
It's like watching Cinemax in the '80s, if you know what I mean.
With a fuzzy TV.
With the fuzzy TV, you're trying to get those channels, and you're trying to getting the rabbit ears in the right position so it comes in clear, or clear enough that you can see.
Is that an elbow or a boob?
Doesn't matter. I finished.
I think it's a Coca-Cola commercial. Dang it. But they censored that game and made them female sexual bunnies.
Yes.
Which is that's more weird than the naked ladies. Right? They turned them into furries, basically, is what they did. And they're not naked, but they're in like scantily clad clothing hanging around instead of the naked women, which is just, I don't know. That's like Sony's. I mean, that's what the developer did to the game on Sony's discretion. But if you look at some of the games that are on PlayStation, I mean, there are some games out there that are worse than that are not censored whatsoever, right? And so it's just baffling. They seem to pick and choose their fights as far as what games they're wanting to go after and put this sort of take these scenes out of and things like that. I mean, for one, this game is rated M for mature, so it does have the ESRB rating, right? You have to be, even though we know it always happens, but an M rating means you have to be 18 years or older, right, to purchase this in stores. Right. And which means you have to be 18 years or older to play it. Now, of course, a lot of people buy their kids mature rated games, but that rating system is there for a reason. There could be things such as nudity, graphic violence, gore, a number of things in there. Bad language and drug use and all this stuff. And it says on the back what's in the game as far as that, just like movies do. They have the rating system. It's rated R. It's rated R for these reasons. Right? There's sex in there. There's nudity. There's bad language, drug use, blah, blah, blah. It says all of that when you go to watch a movie or put a movie on TV or watch a movie on TV or Netflix or whatever. It has that rating system. And that rating system's there for a reason. So I think in this case, Sony doesn't need to or shouldn't need to go out and censor these things because the roadblocks have already been established to inform people that this stuff is there. We don't know what type of scene it is. Fans are speculating there is one scene in the game where your character cuts the face off of a dead female corpse and wears it for some reason. They're speculating that is the scene. It could be that scene. It could be several scenes in the game, but it's not like that scene hasn't been done in movies, and I'm sure in some other games or something similar to that fashion.
Hostel,
so it's not like
Luigi's Mansion. Yep.
Right. Yeah, Luigi. He sucks the face right off the ghost with that vacuum cleaner. So it's just really weird. Like, I would say, if Sony wants to censor that, the biggest thing I would say is allow the consumer to censor it. Maybe they put something in the options menu that takes those out or filters those scenes out, like grades them, or not grades them out, but puts like a little pixelated filter over those images and scenes that the player could turn on in the options menu.
Right. We just recently had a game like that, and I can't remember what it was. Was it Doki Doki that we played that had options in the menus to censor certain scenes and stuff like that, which is fine. Add the menus and the options. But if I decide I don't want you to censor a damn thing, don't just enforce your censorship on me. Let people decide. Let as much as I hate censorship anywhere in countries that do it, leave it to the local regions to decide what's good for their place or not. The games are published in regions for a reason, so that region can decide if that game's rating needs to change or if things need to be cut from the game so they can sell it in their region. I mean, happens all the time, right? Stop enslaving people to your values, Sony. Whatever your twisted values may be, we don't want them. We have our own values and own interpretations of things. We're not the hoe you need to save. Go somewhere else.
It's almost like, what are you, and this is like a question for Sony, it's like, what are you trying to be? Are you trying to be some family-friendly console? Because you already are established as a not family-friendly console, right?
You made Manhunt 2, Mad World, Bully. Grand Theft Auto was created for you, for God's sakes. So you can take your I wear my daddy hat and stick it up your butthole.
True.
I mean, PlayStation has known to put out a lot of risque games. I mean, there's a lot of odd crap comes out of what's on PlayStation. Not PlayStation directly. They don't, not that I'm saying them directly, but games that are on PlayStation.
Yes.
PlayStation has some weird crap on it. And I'm talking like sexual stuff and things like that.
God of War had a mini game with boobs, for God's sake.
They have more than one game on there, but they have like 2 or 3 games. It's I'm not sure what type of game it is. I think it's like kind of RPG, but it's called Succubus, right? And they have multiple versions of this game on the PlayStation. And these women and various things are a lot more detailed than the 9 ladies or 99 ladies one, right? And so, I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand like I said, they pick and choose, it seems. It seems like they don't do this for every single game, whether it be a violent act or sexual nudity or anything like that. They just seem to pick and choose certain games that they want to censor. And I don't quite understand why, the reasoning behind that.
Well, I honestly
sex is good, horror and gore is bad.
Yeah. Boobies good, bloodbaths bad. So I honestly think a part of it has to do with the developers. I think in this situation, I think part of it has to do with developer wasn't going Sony pony only. They went multi-platform. I think part of it might have just pissed them off. And they found something to complain about.
So why would that doesn't make sense in my opinion? Because I mean, Sony is
Sony. Sony.
If you're going multiplayer platform, though, why would you shoot yourself in the foot?
Because Sony doesn't make sense. Sony's got such a big head.
Sony speaks one thing, and that's money, and this is taking money out of their hands.
Not Sony speaks, I'm better than everything and everybody, and they don't give a crap. They will shit on their players, and you know this to be factual, just for their own self benefits. So if they feel like this guy, screwed him over by going multi-platform, they'll shoot themselves on the toe because they got a big head. They got 9 more toes. They'll show people. You don't tell me you're going to go Sony only and then turn around and drop it on Microsoft. I think Sony is that spiteful.
I don't know. I don't know.
And I'm a PlayStation fan. Don't get me wrong, but I also know Sony is a company that has really gone downhill as a company, especially when it comes towards its developers and its gamers.
Yeah, it's just really weird. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just really weird that they would say we're going to censor this. I mean, it has to be something horrendous, right? I'm making a joke here because Sony censors random stupid crap. I'm thinking if they're going to censor something, like there's a scene where somebody's eating a dead person from like the foot to the head or something. I don't know. There's just something that has to be so horrendous that they think they need to save us from. Whereas
that was
everybody
every
else
Resident
says,
Evil on PlayStation 2.
well, I mean, they got like a fork and a knife out there chopping off a hunk of flesh, and you know, like I don't know, and they're just watching it cut in and guts are spewing out or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big horror genre fan, and I really heard nothing of this game until now, and now I'm kind of interested to see what got cut out. I don't know if that means I'm going to buy it. I don't know. Maybe it'll come out on PlayStation, or maybe it'll come out on VR or something. We can go play it at one of you guys' house.
Oh, now you're talking.
Maybe it'll come out on Game Pass or something, and we can all try it out.
Right.
But,
yeah.
I mean, exactly right. It's like, Sony in this case is almost shooting themselves in the foot, and I feel bad for those people that go out and maybe buy this game not knowing on the PlayStation, not knowing that it is censored in those areas, right? Because that's for me as a gamer, and for them maybe it doesn't matter, but for me as a gamer, like if I went and bought any game, let's say Final Fantasy VII, the remake one, and you have the scene in the honeybee where you're dancing in the dress as Cloud and everything like that, which is from the original game, and they cut that scene out in the remake, right? And maybe I didn't know it or whatever, I would be pissed that is not there, right? I want the full experience. If that's the part of the game, I want it to be there. And if it's cut out, and I haven't, I learned that the Xbox version, I know the game's not on Xbox, but if it was, and the Xbox version or PC version had that and was complete, I would feel like I'd been shafted, right? I'd been played in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be told there ain't no pickles and you get a sandwich with no pickles, but, Bob next door, he got all the pickles. What the hell? I want pickles on my sandwich. It's stupid.
It makes no sense, and I don't get why Sony decides they need to randomly censor stuff. It's their MO, I guess. We all know, and that's probably, it's bad for those single console or single gaming system owners, like you said, because if you really wanted to play this and you had your heart set on it, and all you own is a PlayStation, part of the bad thing is, in my opinion, just knowing something got removed, right? Yeah. If this was a PlayStation only exclusive game, you may never known that got ripped out because they wouldn't have told you. It would just got altered because the PlayStation would have said, we don't want it, until sometime down the road where the developer comes out and says, yeah, Sony made us change it, because that has happened. We've found that games have been changed when they were single platform systems only at the behest of the hardware owner, or at the behest of maybe even a publisher. The developer's like, I put this in there, and the publisher's like, I really don't want that mature rating. Let's get it bumped down to teen. So can you remove this, this, and this? And that happens. But the problem is when you have it split, it's coming out with the full content somewhere, one place, and missing the content somewhere else. So that's where it really is a bad thing for gamers, because you're getting an incomplete version of the artist's vision, if you will, because gaming is art.
You're missing portions of story. It's really bad for regional stuff. Australia and Germany do this a lot, where there are just certain things they will not tolerate. They won't take. And you know what? That's good on them. They want to be that way. That's on them. But they have got to realize that, they're making decisions for adults. We have ESRB. We regulate, the gaming industry regulates itself. They watch their self, and I think they have done a fantastic job. I can't think of one game where I went, oh shit, that's just too far. No, that's too much. Oh no, they didn't. No,
I think you said that about the Ready or Not game.
No, I said if they did that in those scenes, we
and they are going to.
If they,
I'm assuming going to.
I don't think you have to worry about it. I think they'll have a school scene, but I don't think they'll be showing children.
I think it'll
or
be
anything
similar
like
to
that.
what we played because we have played that game and
Yes.
it's pretty much just you versus AI dudes
Yeah.
and there's some hostages.
You'll have
that
some
are
hostages,
the
but
same, but
they're going to be teachers.
I think you're exactly right. I think the scene will be a school setting, but
Yeah.
the enemies and the survivors and stuff will just be exactly what the
Shane's
game is
actually
now.
going to shoot some too. I just know
Probably. You probably will. This is like going to watch Saw and they take all the death scenes out.
Oh, then it was just called
Like
Scene.
the best part of Saw is the death scenes, right? And the puzzle deaths and all that stuff. I mean, that's the appeal of that movie. The main appeal of that movie, right?
Yeah.
Is those scenes, and that's like the Sony is almost in this part the equivalent of just taking all that part out. Yeah, it would be a boring movie at that point.
Yeah. Nobody went and saw the Friday the 13th movies back in the 80s for Jason murdering people. They went to see the boobies. I mean, that's what those things are. And there's certain
those
things
campers deserved it.
That's right. They were
Those
having
damn
premaritals.
They were having sex on the lake.
Those
Jason
damn
doesn't like
teens.
sex on the lake.
But
Right.
there's certain
Not
things
on my
that
lake.
just that they're known for, they're part of. And when you start taking away things that are a part of it, grotesque violence and blood and gore, you can't take that out of a game like Martha is Dead. You can't. Then it's just there's Martha.
Martha ain't so dead.
No, Martha's at the store.
She's buying bread, milk. She's getting some bread and some milk.
Martha's slightly cold.
Yeah.
Martha on ice.
Martha's got to chill. I mean, I don't know. I understand. And I do. And I know it's probably not a popular opinion, but I do believe Sony does have the right to say, look, this is something I don't feel is on my platform should be, there should be something like this. But I think Sony is going way beyond reality anymore. It's not a good thing, and it's going to get worse. Pretty soon, you're going to have God of War will be God of traveling with his kid. I mean, Horizon
God
Zero,
of the traveling pants.
God of no boobies.
Yes, God of no boobies. Exactly. It's a crap.
And the next
thing
Mortal
that
Kombat
Sony's
will
doing.
have no blood, none.
That's right. No mortal bitch slap.
All the fight sounds are going to be like squeaky noises or something.
Yes.
Squeak, 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 squeak. So you can't hear any of the gushing blood and guts and stuff.
No fatalities. They're all friendships.
Friendship. Oh man.
Exactly. Ooh,
I got your
babality.
flowers. Yeah. All right. We'll probably beat this one to death if we keep going, guys.
Yep.
Just like Sony's doing to this poor developer. You guys got anything else you want to lay on this one? Before Sony decides we need a little bit more saving.
Nope. I just want to thank them one more time for making sure that I don't worry about taking care of my own self. So,
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think. Do you agree with Sony being able to censor what is on their platform? Obviously, it's their platform. There can be arguments made for both ways, but do you need saved? Does Sony need to save you? Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments. And don't forget, make sure you like this video and don't forget to subscribe and also hit that bell for notifications so you can get notified every time we put out a video. We put out about 5 of them a week, so keep a lookout for them. I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to see you in the next one.
see ya.